So let's just keep going, and I will create a new column over here with the name of salary. And as the name suggests, we want to save employee salary in this column, and we would like to specify a type of decimal, and but we will say that we want to have 10 values, and we want to have 2 digits after the decimal fraction. So it would only go 2 digits until after the decimal, um, uh, whenever we'll specify a value over here. And okay, let's just create this table with this decimal type. So it has created the table, and let's just confirm that the table has been created, and we can see in the columns that we have this additional column of the type decimal, and it's 10 and 2, so 2 digits after the decimal. So if I try to enter value, let's say I try to enter Alice and Walsh, and let's say Alice at ems.com, and now if I try to specify a value of 25,000, if I try to tab out, what we'll see is that it has saved in this format where it has basically put a decimal and then 2 digits after decimal. If I try to change it and try to make it something like 5 to 6 and a few other digits after decimal, and if I tab out, it has rounded off that 5 to 6 to 5 3, so it will always have these 2 digits after the decimal, and that's the whole idea of a decimal. Now if I create another user, let's say Bob Johnson, and I say Bob at ems.com, and now if I leave this salary column, and now it has created a new employee with salary set as null. So what we can do is, it doesn't make sense because we want to have the salary as a decimal number, and we don't want it to be null. So one of the ways is that we can say that, okay, let's make it not null, and let's force the user or the application which may be written on top of this database, let's force the user or the application to type in something over here. Like we force the user to type in the first name, last name, email. We can force them to type in salary. But there's another way to handle this issue, and if an employee, let's say, doesn't have any salary at the moment, we can basically say default 0, and that means that every time the salary is not specified, a default salary will be assigned, a default value will be assigned to salary column, and that default value would be 0. So if I do that, and let me just quickly drop this again, because it's schema change, and every time we change the schema of the table, we'll have to drop it. So we drop the table, and let me create this table again, and the command is completed successfully. If I refresh the table, we can again see all these columns being created, and what I'll do is that I will try to enter some values into this database. So let's say Bob Johnson, email can be bob at ems.com, and if you leave the salary and tab out, what we'll see is that because of that default constraint, it has entered a default value for salary. And for Alice, if we say Alice has a salary of 30,000, Alice at ems.com, let's say she has a salary of 30,000, we can see that her salary is specified in the same format which we introduced while defining the column. So this video was just to highlight this default constraint, and that is pretty much it about the main constraints which SQL Server provides us with.